Hello, welcome, Paula. So great to have you here with us for our project.
Hello, Rita. Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, thank you for accepting. So I have some questions to ask you, and let's hear from you. Is that okay?
Okay, let's start.
Okay, so maybe we can start by your introduction. So can you please introduce yourself and your business?
Okay, so I am Paula Costa. I am from Lisbon. I am 50 years old and I'm a trader, a non-professional trader.
Okay, and can you tell us a little bit of your path? So your work experience?
Of course. So I have a 25-year plus career in sales and marketing, and I've been those kind of people focus completely on career and thinking that a career was a kind of geometric progression that we were always moving on. But then the pandemic came, and because I stayed a lot of time at home, like everyone else, in home office, working 12, 14 hours a day without any social life, made me question what was the purpose of my life and the purpose of what I was doing, focused only on my career. I've been an entrepreneur all my life. That's why I guess I evolved so much in the organizations where I've been, because I was always that person full of ideas, sometimes too many ideas, but I was always very creative and very dynamic in all the jobs that I took. I made my first experience to start a business in 2008. It was a brick and mortar business. And in 2008, if you recall, there was a huge crisis that went from 2008 to 2010, more or less, and then with consequences here in Portugal that were all throughout 2011, 2012. So what happened was my business failed. And in Portugal, we are not like the Americans that think that having a business and failing is great, is awesome. Is a good experience. Here in Portugal, the concept of failing is a huge responsibility. It's something that you have on your CV like something wrong or something bad. So I put aside that entrepreneur vocation that I had, and I restarted my career again. And I was very lucky in all the jobs that I took, because the evolution that I was constantly seeking, I got it. But then after the pandemic, I questioned all my life, as I told you, and I was trying, my main objective was to find something that could give me a good work-life balance. I discovered trading by chance. It was my stepson. I was looking for the word. Stepson. He was investing in Bitcoin, like lots of people in the world, all around the world. He presented me to the brokers online and to the business of trading. I started with Bitcoin, but very soon I found it was a non-regulated and a non-professional market, where the ups and downs were not related with technical issues and pragmatic issues, but with tweeters and with opinion leaders saying something on Reddit, for instance. So I took a chance on commodities, on stocks, and I really found something that I liked to do and where I could earn money. And so I quit my job. It was a kind of mad thing to do. I must tell you, I had no support from my family, because everyone thought I was having a kind of middle-age crisis. But I quit my job, and now I devote my days to trading, not every day, not all the hours of the day, because I really, really focus on having a good work-life balance and having time for myself and for my family and for my friends.
So that was one of your main purposes of having your own business, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and what else could you mention as a challenge? That the challenges that you faced when starting your business, and for instance, in this area of investment and money, maybe not so traditional for women. what were your main struggles during that process, besides the family that you have already mentioned?
Yeah. Well, I have a very curious story to tell, because when I decided to dedicate myself to trading, there are lots of training courses online, but I decided that I should take one more professional and more serious training in trading. And it was curious because in this course, we were around 15 to 18 people. Only 3 were women, and only one, me, made the course all through the end.
Oh.
But in one of the first lesson, I guess, the teacher or the trainer told us that women rarely succeed when they are traders, because trading has a lot to do with controlling emotions, and women are very emotional, so they struggle to be good traders. And that was something that really shocked me. And I made my course 2 years ago. It was not 20 years ago. So how can someone 2 years ago still say something about the capacity of women to do something? And then that trainer also told me that because I was coming from the area of marketing, I was not a pragmatic person. I was a creative person, and creative people are not good traders. So I really had this, I didn't think there were so many stereotypes in one area.
Yes.
Because I've always worked in male-dominated industries like tobacco, and I of course there was some discrimination, and so anyone that tells that discrimination doesn't happen today in your workplace is wrong, because it happens, and I felt it several times. But it was very annoying and disturbing to have that kind of confrontation in a training course where I am there to learn a new task, a new role. So it was very complicated, that. And the other thing that was complicated was myself, because I was used to working 10, 12, 14 hours a day. And I had a purpose. It was not to work so much and not so hard. But when you have that mindset of being a worker and be always connected and always looking at the screens, yeah, it took me quite a while to be able to detach, to log off and say, okay, today you don't work anymore, or today you are just working 2 hours, or today you are not working, because this is something that now I do. But it took me quite a while to change my mindset.
I can imagine. So how do you stay motivated during this tough times or setbacks? How do you find motivation?
It's not easy to find motivation, because, for instance, it happened to me when I started. I was really lucky, and I'm putting this like this because you cannot talk about luck when you are talking about trading. You either know how to do it or you don't know how to do it. But we had the war on Ukraine, and in that period, all prices and all commodities went up astonishingly, with huge increases. And what happened was, it was very easy to earn money. Sometimes I would be earning money in a question of minutes, and this really happened. And then after the war, the inverse occurred. All prices started to come down, and I started to lose money. And when you start losing money 4 or 5 trades in a row, 2, 3 days in a row, you start questioning yourself. Am I doing wrong? After all, I don't know how to do this. What have I done with my life? So it is very difficult for you to get motivated, and for you not to criticize and not to be very hard on yourself. I've learned that when something is wrong, and if you look at the markets and you don't identify any opportunity, because it happens, or if you lose 2 or 3 trades in a row, I log off. I go for a walk. I'll go and do something else, and I start the other day. And I really do that thing. Tomorrow is another day. And I am able to do that. This is something that when you are working for someone else, you cannot do. You cannot say, I am not going to work today, I'm just going to work tomorrow. But when you work on your own, if you are not okay, if things are not going well, you can do that. You can say, today I won't work anymore. And sometimes I'll do that. And this is what keeps me motivated, because I go and find motivation in other things than work.
I can understand. And I'm thinking, and how do you foster your own innovation and your own creativity? Also networking, is that something important for you in your entrepreneurial journey? How do you see these topics in your daily life?
Well, I'm a very social person. So I really need human contact and talking with other people. But one thing that I found was, when you are working in a company, your social contacts belong to that cluster where you work. So you spend weeks, months, years talking every time with the same people and not meeting new people. And when I dedicated myself to trading, and because I found much more time in my day-to-day life, I rediscovered LinkedIn. And through LinkedIn, I came to meet lots of people whose interests, whose activity has much more in common with me, with my personality, with my goals in life, and with what I want to do, than the person I related to before in my work life that I had before I was a trader.
So can you tell us about a specific moment or a specific person that inspired you to become an entrepreneur?
Well, my parents are entrepreneurs, and I was raised in that culture that for you to earn money, you have to have your own business. So for me, having my own business was something that was always in my mind. I knew that I could thrive having a great career and having that job title and those fringe benefits that are associated with a career. But I knew from what my parents showed me that to have a really big house, to do vacations, to really have a good bank account, I should find a business to create it and to develop it. And that would be a mean to really get rich. And I was really raised with that mindset. This doesn't happen necessarily now. And honestly, I'm not looking for money at this point, the same way I am not looking for recognition like I was looking for when I had a career.
20 years ago.
And, yeah, and when having that specific job title was very important. And sometimes I would be arguing the job title specifically, not the salary, not the fringe benefits. So this just to say that I have this entrepreneurship thing in my DNA, and it comes from the family.
Okay. Okay. So last question. What advice would you give to other women that are aspiring to become entrepreneurs? Any thoughts on this?
Yes. Well, the first thing is, don't expect others to understand your goals. And this is for me. For 2 times I became an entrepreneur. The first in a brick and mortar business, and then now as a trader with no fixed costs. It's a very easy way to run a business. But other people don't understand your journey. And being an entrepreneur is still being someone who thinks outside the box, because the normal thing is for you to take a degree, to find a job, to have a career, and follow a path that everyone follows. Normally, I say that everyone believes in when you have a plan A, people can admit that you have a plan B, if in case the plan A doesn't work, but people don't accept very well that you are constantly changing plans or adapting your plans to what you want to do. So don't expect support from the others. And then the other thing is be careful with wishful thinking, because when we want to start a business, and I made that mistake in my first business, You make your P&L, you make excellent calculations of revenue and cost, but all those calculations are based on wishful thinking. You want so much for things to get right that you don't see that they can get wrong. So be careful with your wishful thinking. For me now, my wishful thinking is just to pay my fixed costs. So it's something that is very simple. But when you have a business that involves other people, that involves suppliers, involves co-workers, you really have to be careful with the calculations that you make.
So maybe just one final question I'm thinking of. Can you share a story, a successful one with us, a kind of a milestone, something that really excites you, something memorable that you can share with us during this journey, this entrepreneurial journey?
Well, I can say, and this is, I had lots of career achievements in my life that I can be proud of. But I remember that when I quit my job, and the last day of my job, I made a post on LinkedIn saying that I was quitting my job and explaining that I was looking for a life that was not dependable on success, on professional success. Mm-hmm. And that post had, at that time, it had 45,000 views, and it had a lot of interaction. And it really gave me an awareness on LinkedIn that I did not have before in all the posts I made related with my job and with my career. So when I admitted that I wanted a simpler life and that I wanted a life with a purpose, I really got more recognition than the one I had before when I was pursuing those huge professional goals that really evolved being a successful manager or director or whatever. Meaning, people like people. They don't like titles. They like to see what is inside the character that you display.
Paula, thank you. We really appreciate your thoughts, your ideas, your entrepreneurial mindset, and all the best for your project. And thank you for letting us know about this idea of how important it is to have this work-life balance. Of course, work, it takes a lot of our time, a lot of our energy, but when we do it and with a purpose, things can really get better. Thank you so much, Paula,
Thank you so much,
for this.
Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.